Taking another look at your forecast, and we still have some of those isolated showers just trying to hold on at this time, but really a lot of these beginning to fizzle out, losing some of that steam now that we are approaching closer towards sunset. That one isolated shower, a few lightning strikes out there that we're tracking closer towards northern Baldwin County, beginning to fizzle out. Still just some isolated rain located closer towards Pineville. Things really beginning to improve for portions in Mobile County, especially closer towards Dawes Big Creek Lake. Now we're just starting to see some of those isolated showers on the south side of Union Church, just making their way closer towards I-10. So still some slick roads out there. Just make sure that you're driving carefully. And then also making our way to Okaloosa County. This was quite the storm just about an hour ago. Now I'm not even really seeing any of the lightning there, but it's still impacting portions closer towards Floridale, Parkerville, Galliver, and closer towards Crestview, also right along I-10. So again, be cautious if you're heading out the door anytime soon. Timing things out on our futurecast, there's some of those showers and storms just still continuing to fizzle out. There it is. We get closer towards sunset. Things turn quiet. It'll stay that way heading into the overnight hours and starting off for your Tuesday, beginning our morning with plenty of sunshine out there. Still feeling sticky as you're stepping out the door, but getting further along into the afternoon, more of those pop-up showers and thunderstorms once again firing off heading into the second half of today. Random where they start to develop, really just dependent upon your location. But once again, heavy downpours, frequent lightning, gusty winds possible at any point heading into tomorrow afternoon and evening. And then once that sun sets, those showers and storms will fizzle out once again. Temperatures tomorrow a little higher than what we saw for today, anticipating more lower to mid 90s out there, hot and toasty. Some areas right around where we should be, some of these leaning towards a bit above average. But really taking that humidity into account, feels like temperatures easily soaring into the upper 90s and the triple digits. Today's forecast is really going to be rinse and repeat for the entire week ahead of us. No major outliers there for any of those changes that are on the way. So stay hydrated, take breaks, keep that umbrella handy in case you're going to be heading out the door. But the rip current risk low tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday in case you're going to be heading on down towards our local beaches. But as mentioned, no major changes on the horizon. Those temperatures in the morning lower to mid 70s, afternoon daytime highs lower to mid 90s, feeling more like the triple digits. However, with that high humidity and then those rain chances, we're just keeping those in that 40 to 50% range every single day, mainly coming into play heading into the afternoon and the evenings. But I'm going to talk more about your forecast coming up in just a little bit. For all the space lovers out there, you have to turn your heads up heading into tonight. I'll break down why coming up in just a bit. Cameron.
All right, let's now bring in meteorologist Jennifer Lambers. And Jen, let's talk about the current conditions in Central Texas. I understand there's still more rain.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Cameron. Not only did they have to deal with some of those showers, those storms just last week and into the weekend, but there's still more of that ongoing. And some of these storms once again bringing in those heavier rain rates, possibly 2 to 4 inches an hour, and some areas possibly even seeing localized amounts up to 10 inches of rainfall. So now we are starting to see some of those updates from the National Weather Service. This is going to be closer towards central Texas. Those are going to be flash flood warnings. We're seeing some of those red boxes there, still just increasing those rain rates for those areas closer towards El Dorado, down towards Junction. The good news is that some of that rain continues to push further south. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to root for. But still that flood watch that is in effect for this evening until we get closer towards 7 o'clock. We'll continue to monitor those conditions in Texas as they are still dealing with more of those showers and storms just beginning to push through. But this fell during a holiday weekend. In case you fully missed the setup of what exactly caused this, this is something that could easily happen here on the Gulf Coast, because we always talk about those tropical systems, the steering flow, the upper atmosphere, what exactly is going on with it. Well, we have that surface map of an area of low pressure that's just situated closer towards central Texas. It's stalled out. The good news is that it's slowly going to start to push further south, but this actually originated as a tropical system. This is Tropical Storm Barry that made landfall in Mexico just last week. It was a very short-lived, weak system that formed in the Bay of Campeche. We covered it just a little bit because it was in the Gulf waters for such a short period of time, but all it did was move further inland, situate itself right over central Texas, and just brought in more and more of that rainfall. I mentioned this is something that we could easily see here. Think of Hurricane Sally, how it moved in. It didn't have a steering flow, but there was nothing pushing it out of here. So we saw more and more of that rain rainfall, think of Hurricane Helene. Although it made landfall closer towards the Big Bend region of Florida and moved its way into the Carolinas, a very vulnerable area, and just rained continuously over those portions. So again, unfortunately, it was an overnight event that moved in. It was quick moving and it just stayed stationary, leading to some of those high rain rates. A very unfortunate situation. We'll continue to monitor it, keep you updated, but I'll also talk more about our local forecast and what we're tracking here on the Gulf Coast. All of that's coming up in just a little bit. Cameron.
Jen, thank you. And stay with Fox 10 News for continuing coverage on the deadly Texas floods. When we get any new info, we'll pass it along to you on air, online at fox10tv.com, and through our news app with a push notification.
Well, taking another look at your traffic conditions in case you're heading out the door anytime soon. Beautiful drive in case you're heading out on the Bayway. We are starting to see some sticky spots. Traffic moving smoothly closer towards the eastern shore there on the Bayway. The rest of Mobile side really looking nice at this time. I-65 looks great as you get closer towards downtown. Really starting to see some of that congestion clearing. I-10 eastbound heading into Wallace Tunnel. Westbound, however, not looking the same. Still a lot of that congestion as you're heading into the tunnel there. Little sticky for that eastbound Bayway travel. The Causeway looks fantastic at this time. Starting to notice that things are improving on the eastern shore there. We noticed some sticky spots earlier, but no major accidents or disruptions out there. That does include the Florida side as well. But those drive times in case you're heading out the door anytime soon on the Bayway, westbound travel 11 minutes, eastbound 17 minutes. Might be best to go ahead, take the Causeway there as soon as you head out of Wallace Tunnel. You can jump back on about halfway through, but I'll continue to keep you updated on your weather and traffic conditions coming up throughout the hour. Cameron.